Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith, include with actual footage from Episode 3 movie. Nice. Yeah, I like Star Wars. I like it okay. I was never like a huge fan of it. I remember going to see Phantom Menace and thinking that was okay. How old had I been? I'd been 8 years old at the time. And then I went to see Attack of the Clones and I was bored out of my mind. I remember that. And then I saw Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, and I actually really enjoyed that. I had a good time with that, so much so I remember I bought the game. I remember this being pretty good. I remember the lightsaber combat being fun, like the Force powers being fun. Oh, what have we got on the back? Let's have a look. That's a lovely back as well. Oh, that's cool, that. I like what they've done there. That's very cool. The powers of a Jedi. Play as Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Test your lightsaber skills and Force powers in epic duels from the film. Enhance your Jedi with new combo moves and upgradable attacks. Exclusive movie content. Go beyond the film. Do battle on 16 interactive levels, including all new locations inspired by the film. Nice. Clash with Darth Vader and other characters in multiplayer duels. Unlock other characters and new bonuses. Yeah, I remember playing the verses. I played it with my friend John Davies back in the day. He was a massive Star Wars nut, and we had a few rounds on that. I'm sure he used to just absolutely wail on me with like the 4 lightsabers, and he had a charge move, I think, where he like charges up and then like traps you under his foot, something like that. But yeah, I remember this being good. So let's have a look inside. Before we get to the booklet, a funny story about this. This disc was not in the box when I opened it originally, because it was inside the Xbox that I bought. So I bought the Xbox along with a bundle of games from one person. I was like, oh, okay, fine. No worries, I'll just pop it back in the case. And when I went to the case, I opened it up and I found this. Lord of the Rings Return of the King for Xbox. But yeah, anyway. Get to the old manual. Got that classic LucasArts logo, I remember that. I think you got game screens, tells you what's on the screen and that. And you pause screen. God, they really do step by step this, isn't it? The art of Jedi combat. Yeah, your basic combos, yeah. Force powers, yeah, I remember the Force powers being a lot of fun. Oh yeah, saber throw. Oh yeah, Force heal, I remember that. Yeah, Force jump, yeah. So yeah, breaking it down for you there nicely. We've got a lot more. There's a lot of moves, isn't there? Crikey. So yeah, that looks familiar, that screen actually. I remember, yeah, you build it up. God, there's a lot in it. I forgot how much there is in these instruction booklets. And then, oh yeah, the versus mode, that's what I remember. So then I assume that's pretty much it. Hang on, what's this? Oh, the official game guide. Oh yeah, Force tips and all that. All right, there you go. You got your 24/7 support there. But yeah, I look forward to playing this one again. So I say, I do remember it being a good amount of fun. So yeah, I guess we'll cut to one game later and I'll tell you what I thought. Well, that was pretty damn good. Obviously it's based on the film Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. You get 16 primary levels that follow the events of the film, with footage from said film in between. The primary gameplay mechanic is the lightsaber combat and Force powers, although on occasion you operate giant turrets to shoot down enemies, which of course reminds me of you know what, but at least they're better than this nonsense. As for the combat, it's a lot of fun. It feels great hitting enemies with the lightsaber, and the Force powers are great for throwing enemies around or pushing them off ledges. You can even trick weaker enemies and use lightning when you're playing as Anakin. It honestly never gets old, and I was surprised though while it held up all these years later. During the level, you build up a meter that gives you better ratings for each enemy you kill. At the end of the level, you get experience points to spend on upgrading your Force powers and attacks. The better your meter was for the kills, the more experience you get. It's a good system, and encourages you to keep momentum up during your combat. The only downside is that if you hit the max, it only lasts for a short amount of time, resetting you back to nothing, so you have to build it back up again. This is especially annoying when you hit the max but have no enemies left, and by the time you wander to the next group, it's reset. But even without the extra XP, you get a decent amount over the course of a first playthrough and can upgrade your abilities a good amount. As far as difficulty goes, the game wasn't super challenging on normal difficulty for the most part. There were some sections I died in, and I had to learn to reuse my Force heal in between sections, even if it slowed me down waiting for it to recharge again. The lightsaber battles against characters like General Grievous and Mace Windu are genuinely intense and have my hands sweating a bit. These can be some of the hardest sections in the game, because if you die, you go back to the beginning of the fight. I did also discover this cheese method where characters can't go too far apart, I assume due to tech limitations, which meant I could force heal while poor Mace Windu was moonwalking on the spot. My only other point of complaint are these couple sections where you're fighting this ship. Sometimes hitting it would damage it, and sometimes it just didn't. I got it down to what I assume was 0 health, but for some reason, it didn't go down. Then it killed me, and I had to fight it all over again. But don't let a few frustrating sections put you off. This is a really fun game to play. Aside from the main levels, there are bonus missions and co-op missions, the latter of which you can play with another person or with the CPU. The co-op missions are fine, you basically take on waves of enemies to finish the level. You probably won't play them more than once, but they're okay. What's more fun are the bonus levels. They are a bit of a mixed bag, but they give you some cool scenarios to play in where you play as General Grievous, Yoda, and even Darth Vader recreating a pivotal scene from A New Hope against Ben Kenobi. The last thing to mention is the Versus mode, where you can pick from a selection of characters and fight against either the CPU or a friend. If you happen to have someone to play with, you're guaranteed to have a good time. And even solo, it's fun to play as characters outside the main story. I did find out after I played this, it is actually available to play on Xbox One and Xbox Series through backward compatibility. And looking at the screenshots, it is a hell of a lot sharper, so if you're going to play, then I would recommend that. But even on the original console, it's a pretty nice looking game. The environments look suitably Star Wars and the CAD models are impressive to look at. I mean look, that's Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen, alright? Obviously it has all the music and sound effects you know and love. The voice acting is mostly good, and uses the voice actors from the Clone Wars series, I believe. I will say this line delivery took me out a bit.
I'm no longer the learner. It's your turn now.
Yeah, you nailed that, mate. Well done. I wanted to point out these two transitions when it goes from a film clip to the game. How smooth were they? And the last presentation related thing I have to mention is this. This shot genuinely made my mouth fall open slightly. Just look how incredible it looks. As far as I know, it's not replicating a shot from the film they just decided to lock in. So yeah, it all looks and sounds exactly like a Star Wars game should. In the end though, the things that really make the difference are the small touches. This could have been a tie-in game pushed out to grab some cash, but I can see that the team behind it had a clear passion. For example, obviously General Grievous and Yoda play and move differently. But as for all the other human characters, they could have just palette swapped the same character model. But no, they all move slightly differently, they have different attacks, they even hold their lightsaber differently to one another, and even in the movement of the characters itself. If you try and jump backwards or sideways, you don't just turn and jump, you do a backflip or a side flip. It makes a surprising amount of difference, makes you feel cool when you dodge an attack. And as for the levels in the game, anyone who has played this will know about one of the most memorable final levels there is. After playing what should be the last one where you defeat Anakin as Obi-Wan, you see the credits, and then you can play the real final level. You're in the final battle again, but as Anakin. The structure is identical, same parts of the level and same cutscenes in between. But at the end, Anakin successfully makes the jump and kills Obi-Wan. Then you see him kill Palpatine and declare the galaxy belongs to him. The end. Flippin' heck. So I was on the fence with my score for this one a bit, but it's still such a fun game to play, and the small touches peppered throughout show that there was a passion behind what could have been a slapdash tie-in. Bearing all that in mind, I'm giving this a 4. It might be a little one note and has the occasional frustrating section, but there's an awful lot to enjoy here, even if you aren't a Star Wars fan in the slightest. If you are, and you've somehow never experienced this game, you really should. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.